It all goes down tonight as the Eastern Conference Finals tip off in just under 5 hours, and 4 teams are chasing that Larry O'Brien trophy, who decided to make a little stop by in our Los Angeles studios today. Welcome to NBA Today. It's presented by ESPN Bet. I'm joined by 2 guys who have lifted that very trophy. Hoisted? I don't think I could hoist it. I'm working on my, but I don't think
I
that
didn't get a chance to hoist it, but I did kiss it.
What? That is good for you.
Just a smooch.
Kendrick Perkins and his smooches. Richard Jefferson. I'm Malika Andrews. I decided to, change my hair up a little bit today. We decided to get a trophy that mirrors Richard's bald head. So the countdown to Game 1 of the Pacers-Celtics, it's on. The Celtics, they spoke ahead of Game 1. Joe Mazzulla, Jaylen Brown. They will be leaning on their experience in this series. Take a listen, fellas.
When you have a team that has an opportunity to be successful, you're taking on the experiences and the journey of, the DNA of that team, but also different players, because you pull from different guys, right? So Drew's been through stuff, Al's been through stuff, Jayson, Jalen been through stuff, Peyton, Sam, and Luke, our role, everybody's been through stuff. So I think when you have a roster of the connectivity that we have, it's because of the timing of each guy's experiences kind of aligned for this opportunity.
But it's definitely different. We a lot older than some of those previous experiences. Everybody loves to say it's the same thing, same team, but each and every year we've grown, each and every year we've learned, each and every year we've gotten older, matured, and it's a different mix.
So you're able to have that sort of confidence when you're in the conference finals for the 6th time in 8 years. Remember, 5 of those are with Tatum and Brown. Perk, since you won the trophy with the Boston Celtics, I'm going to start with you. What's the key for them to advance to the finals again?
Well, who has the key? Jayson Tatum. Is he going to drive the car, right? And when we think about Jayson Tatum and we think about all the players that are still in the league, all the stars, right? Anthony Edwards, Luka, Kyrie, Tyrese Halliburton. They don't need Jayson Tatum to be the star. They need him to be the sun. You know 2 things about the sun?
What?
It's going to shine brightly.
Yeah.
And damn it, it's hot. They need it's hot. They need Jayson Tatum.
Yeah,
but they need Jayson Tatum. They need him to be the sun, because look, it's not about all stars or all NBA teams when it comes down to putting on the Celtic uniform, especially when you're that guy. You want to join the likes of Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Havlicek, Larry Bird,
right.
And you know what that is? Celtics royalty. That's where you want to be cemented. Celtics royalty. And that's completing the mission. Jayson Tatum has all the pieces. Mm-hmm. Can he please, not half of a series, take over the entire series for once and us be sitting up here saying that he's the best player in the postseason?
Yeah, no, that's right, Perk. When you look at Jayson Tatum, Perk, you just went real hard.
I didn't go real. I mean, it was facts, though.
No, it is true. To my point, though, where I push back on you is he doesn't need to do that. Jayson Tatum doesn't need to be that guy. He does need to be the hub, and he does need to play better, especially as the postseason progresses. But they have so much around him. That's been the difference. He's got to learn and continue to work on managing the game. He hasn't shot the ball well yet. That is true. He hasn't shot to his capability. But that's why they brought in Drew Holiday. That's why they brought in Porzingis, and ideally he will be coming back in this postseason. Yep. Is they have so much surrounding him. It's about how does he manage the talent around him. And I think even as a player, this is a new position for him. So for me, I think for the key for the Celtics is Jayson Tatum continuing to manage all of the talent around, because that's what it is. It is the strength in numbers. The old Golden State Warriors thing. It's the strength in numbers, and it's got to be led by Jayson Tatum.
Yeah, but RJ, you won the NBA championship, and you played alongside LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. When it mattered the most, it wasn't about the players around them. It was about them rising to the occasion and being the best player on the floor in that series. And I get it, right there in the Eastern Conference. They went through the Miami Heat. They went through the Cleveland Cavaliers. But when they get against one of those dogs that are coming out of the Western Conference, he got to be the best player on the floor.
So on the Pacers side of things, what's Indiana's path to upset? Because they are the underdogs once again, as they have been in every series this postseason.
Score and score and score. And it's the pace. It's the pace. Look, when you look at the Boston Celtics, they were one of the best in the league at taking care of the ball.
Yeah.
But they also shoot the ball. They shoot a ton of threes. So for the Pacers, it's about getting those long rebounds, forcing them into misses, getting the long rebounds, and then just that pace, that scoring pace. And they have depth. They are also a team, when I talk about strength in numbers, it's their bench depth. It's Peyton Pritchard, or see, not Peyton Pritchard, but it is T.J. McConnell off the bench. They have so much talent. So when I look at their squad, they have to keep a pace going for the entire game, and they have to make them turn over the ball, and they have to shoot the three well.
So when you look at the way that the Boston Celtics have lost the games that they have lost in this postseason, they've lost them because of historic offensive night. Indiana has the capability of getting hot historically like that.
Well, they were the best offensive team in the league, and we know this. They don't fear anyone. They don't fear anyone. We saw what they did in the in-season tournament going against the Milwaukee Bucks. They'll start chirping, they'll do it. So they walk into any situation with confidence. The way they played that pace, what's key to that pace is forcing the Celtics into missing threes and then turning them over. That's typically not what the Celtics do, but that would be their pathway to be successful.
Well, let's keep it real. We're about to watch two teams that love to play cute and sassy. But we also are watching a team in the
I woke up this morning. I said,
but we're also watching a team that is growing right before our very eyes in the Indiana Pacers. Last series, Rick Carlisle called them out, right, publicly, and questioned their toughness. They responded. So when I'm looking at a guy like Aaron Nesmith, who was drafted by the Boston Celtics, who probably have a chip on his shoulder playing against his former team for giving up on them, when I'm looking at a guy like T.J. McConnell, who's coming in with that dog mentality that's going to pick up 94 feet, Nembhard, another guy that's going to bring that physicality, and you have a champion. You have a champion that's leading the way, that's leading this team in scoring, that has been the best player on this roster in Pascal Siakam. That's how they're going to get it done, with their physicality and his leadership, if they do get it done.
Okay, but that's kind of a big if. Odds makers have the Boston Celtics as the title favorite. When you look at the fact that the Denver Nuggets are now out of this race, is this Boston's title to lose here, Richard?
I can't imagine the fury that will go through the basketball community if the Boston Celtics don't win this NBA championship. Now, I understand there's some great storylines coming out of the West. Luka, he's there. If you get a young Anthony Edwards, we don't know where his career trajectory could possibly go. So, look, the Boston Celtics could get a dogfight on that other end. But at the end of the day, especially if Porzingis is able to come back. If Porzingis comes back and they don't win, boy, I tell you, I feel bad. I really, truly feel bad for them. Because the amount of heat that they're going to get, and it's 100% warranted, they are going to be, it's going to be a long summer for those boys.
Well, you might as well, they might as well prepare to get the heat, because it's not their title to lose. Last time I checked, when I checked and looked at the series, didn't the Minnesota Timberwolves just knocked off the defending champs?
Yeah.
Right, the best starting five in basketball. Okay, it don't matter. It don't matter what you do. It don't matter what you do. It's how you do it.
I'm agreeing with you.
And they did it in great fashion, especially in that Game 7, man. So at the end of the day, when I'm looking at this team right here, the one thing that we all know, Malika, RJ, and y'all say amen to this, is that this team is going to show up and show what on a consistent basis? Their defensive identity that they have. I can't say the same about the Boston Celtics. I can say the same about
defense.
But it hasn't been as consistent.
But let me say this. The Minnesota Timberwolves, the way that they play defense, the way that they play basketball, box scores don't do them any type of service, right? Watching them is what you see, right? You're watching them and how they picking up full court. You're watching them how they're contested every jump shot at the rim or on the perimeter. That's what you're watching.
When I sat down with Jayson Tatum over the All-Star break, he told me that this is the best Boston Celtics team that he feels he has ever played on.
Okay.
It's better than the 2022 team that went to the NBA Finals and experienced that heartbreak that we know that Michael Wilbon has said over and over again, you need to truly go through before you get to that mountaintop. So because of that, because it feels a little bit like every other team is playing with some semblance of at least more house money than the Boston Celtics do, you don't think it would be an abject failure for them if they lose this title?
Oh, it's a failure.
For sure.
was like, yo.
Is it another word for fit?
No, and we're laughing because they are that good, and
Yep.
we believe that the gap between them at their best is much larger than everybody else. That's it. At their best, there's a gap between them and everyone else. So if they don't win, it will be because of underperformance. Now, you can make someone underperform, and we believe that Dallas and Minnesota have the capability, but at the end of the day is they have to underperform in order for that to happen.
But Malika, to what you just brought up, what Jayson Tatum said, this is the best team
Facts.
he's been on. That means that the Boston Celtics has done their job to make sure that they surround him with the necessary pieces. Again, who did they lose this offseason? Marcus Smart, a guy that was the heart and soul of their team. They also lost Robert Williams, who went to the NBA Finals with them, right? And you bring in Drew Holiday, you bring in Kristaps Porzingis, you have to get it done. It's no other way around it. It's either championship or bust. Don't come get me about this 2-year window. No one's trying to hear that. It's now.
Well, especially because Tatum also said that he feels it's a day, Richard. He feels like he's the best player on the floor, and that's a shift in
As
his
he
mentality.
should. As he should.
Don't be
the
the
last
sun
couple of
there.
years.
Don't be a
Taco
star.
Jay is
Coming up on
special.
NBA Today, oh my goodness.